4th down and 6. Old Bridge gotta have it. Shotgun formation. Nugent, a lot of time. Rolls out. He's running out of space. Will roll the other way. They look, corner of the end zone. Touchdown!
Rowan heading for the touchpad with the lead, and the props will take the men's 400-yard freestyle relay.
Andrews will be in shotgun. He takes the snap, fakes the handoff. He'll throw it down the left sideline. He's got a wide open receiver. He's got the touchdown.
Motion man is Simmons. Trotman throwing towards Simmons down the field, and he makes the catch in traffic for a Bearcats touchdown.
Back to pass, middle of the field. The catch is made by Britt. She's off to the races at the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. Britt is in for the score.
Back on in, here's Yoxon. Yoxon to the backhand, trying to go to the front, makes the move, a shot, and he scores!
Gracie comes set and delivers. And that's it on the ground to second. Throw to first, in time, and the ball game is over. South Shore survives a late scare, and they are the 2024 New York State Little League Baseball champions. Live from the Aquaplex in Hampton, Virginia, PDF Sports Network is proud to welcome you into coverage of the 2026 New Jersey Athletic Conference Swimming and Diving Championship meet. This morning, we have coverage of Day 2 swimming preliminaries and finals live from our diving pool. My name is John McCooch. I'll be here throughout the week with my partner, David Pizzuto, and we thank you for joining us here at the Aquaplex, where we continue this 4-day journey culminating in individual and team championships in both men's and women's swimming and diving within the New Jersey Athletic Conference. Before we get underway officially, let's let you know what's on tap this morning. Coming up here in this main pool will be coverage of the men's 500-yard freestyle preliminary, the men's 200-yard individual medley preliminary, the men's 50-yard preliminary, and then we will have both the men's and women's 400-yard medley B relays. The B relays are final heats, but B relays do not count for scoring at the NJAC Championship. All this while women's diving will be going on opposite us, and we'll have coverage for that for you as well. When it comes to the individual preliminary events, that's where things get interesting. It'll be the top 24 that will be invited back to the final heats this evening, which will determine scoring. Teams are allowed to carry 19 scoring individuals on their roster, and individual divers count for 1/3 of a participant. Each participant is allowed up to 3 individual events to perform in and up to 4 relay events. So that's 7 total. Now, for these preliminary heats, I will guide you through the race and heats as we go, but we will let the natural sounds of the arena come through, and you can follow the race results via Meet Mobile and our scoreboard on screen, which we'll have for you later in the broadcast once that all comes up, and later on tonight for the finals. Dave and I will be on hand for full play-by-play commentary, so be sure to join us a little later on for that. And just a reminder, swimming and diving will occur each day here at the Aquaplex, and from here on in, both the morning with preliminaries and in the evening with finals. Like today, the diving pool streams during the morning sessions will feature swim preliminaries as well, followed by diving. The main pool final streams in the evening will only feature swimming events. So take a breath now. It's a lot to take in because, again, just to recap, 500-yard freestyle preliminary, the men's 200-yard individual medley preliminary, the men's 50-yard preliminary, and then we'll have, again, the men's and women's 400-yard medley B relays. But we've got some interesting stuff going on. We had a lot happen yesterday, and kind of just want to take you through what we saw yesterday. On day 1 of the NJAC Championships, it was fantastic. It was great. You had a lot of great performances. Records were broken here for the NJAC, and just to kind of take a look at everything that went on today, we'll take a look at the men through 3 events to start out here, because TC&J came out and had a fantastic day 1. They did really well in pretty much just about everything. And still, again, we had competitive races all throughout TC&J. They did a great job of the 200-yard medley relay. They won that with a time of 1:26.82. That beat their seed time of 1:29.51. That ended up being an NJAC record as well. Salisbury also broke an NJAC record. They were just behind. It was such a tight race, 1:26.99. They made a B cut, as well did the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy, who sits at second place, and they kind of came onto the scene as well. They were undefeated throughout the regular season, had not played an NJAC team in terms of a meet before. TC&J was 4-0 in NJAC meets, and now they come out. And that's kind of our top 3 right now, because, again, you have University of Mary Washington, who came out strong as well. Rowan, a very strong program, came out in 5th. Salisbury, who we talked a lot about Salisbury, didn't maybe get into that top 2, but there's a ton of events left to go, and their strong events are also coming up as well. You got Roger Williams sitting there at 6th, Montclair State with 94 points at 7th, and Ramapo at 88. William Patterson out there with 40 points in 9th place. So that's going to be interesting to follow. And just to kind of get through in terms of the men's side, obviously you had men's 3-meter diving as well with Carter Cobb. I mean, 2 8 cuts with Thomas Cable as well on that one. Cobb broke a record as well. So very good stuff from him. And the men's 800-yard freestyle. TCNJ also won that. Salisbury, a lot of their points come from this second-place finish that they had here as well. In terms of the men's side, the 800-yard freestyle relay, 6:36.39 was their time in terms of the finals. That got them 56 points. And TCNJ ended up getting 64 points because they got first place in that race with a 6:35.85 time in that race. Rowan finished out third, and that kind of kept them in this top 5 that we have right here. And Rowan, a team that you kind of expect to do a lot as we get going here. We have a lot coming up today. We got a lot of the great races that, again, you'll have later on tonight. But let's take a look at the women's side of things as well in just a second because, again, it looks a bit different than the men, and they will have less points because, again, the women do not have diving throughout this week. As we go from, again, Wednesday that we came here and all the way to Sunday that will take you today. So happy Friday to everyone out there at 9:21 in the morning. Thank you for coming out early. Thank you for purchasing a ticket. However, we will take a look at the women's side of things because Salisbury ends up leading. Salisbury was kind of a heavy team up there. Had them and Kane and Rowan, and it's kind of what you see here in this top 3. Them, Kane, and Rowan really showing out strong. Mary Washington and Montclair State also. It's a really close race that we have right here for pretty much all throughout. You've got a tie for 6th place with TCNJ. You've got Robert Williams, and you have a great Roger Williams. You have a great squad there. Tied for 6th with TCNJ. Roger Williams in 6th place. United States Merchant Marine Academy at 8th. Ramapo with 80 points at 9th. We'll go back to the top there. Salisbury, Kane, and Rowan have your top 3. 128 points for Salisbury. Not as big of a lead, in terms of 1st through 7th, or 1st through 8th, really, that you see from the men's side all the way down. When it comes to the top 1 through 8, it's a really close race. So, U.S. Merchant Marine Academy, they sit in 8th place. They're pretty close in terms of the standings. So they've got some ground to make up for sure, but it's still really close. And just to take a look at the women's 200-yard medley relay that we had yesterday, a time of 1:43.94 from Salisbury. Kane ended up with 1:44.23, but it was a really close race, again, because you see University of Mary Washington right there. What kept them in 3rd place was a .06 difference, and they got a B cut out of this, by the way, these top 3 teams. Got a B cut out of this from University of Mary Washington and Kane as well. It was 1:44.23 against 1:44.29. That's about as close as you can possibly get in any sort of race. The women's 200-yard medley relay. And then the women, they had the B cuts as well. The B relays played as well. And that was always a great thing to watch. And then you have the women's 800-yard freestyle relay. And Salisbury took that with a 7:32.26. Broke an NJAC record, as did Rowan with a 7:36.35, and both of them made B cuts, 64 points and 56 points, respectively, on that, as that went all the way down. You also had a great race. I mean, again, what we talk about a lot is the differences between, getting 8th versus 6th. It's a lot of points, and those relays were double points, so it was huge for them to go out and get that. Usual races will get you 32. These got you 64 for 1st place, so that was always just fantastic to watch right there. But that's about kind of what happened yesterday, and we got preliminaries and trials and all that great stuff today for you, and you will have that coverage here presented by the PDF Sports Network and here for the NJAC. Here in this morning session, you got trials to start things out, and then the relays later on. And obviously you've got 500s, 250s later on in the evening, and that all starts at about 5:30. Just want to give you a quick reminder, though, what else is going on in the NJAC. Fans, just a reminder that the NJAC Swimming and Diving Championships kick off what is sure to be an exciting winter championship season for the conference. Next weekend on February 21st and 22nd, the NJAC Indoor Track and Field Championships will be held at the University of Pennsylvania's Ott Center. Also, next Saturday, the NJAC women's and men's basketball tournaments will get underway. The women's tournament will feature a Saturday, Tuesday, Friday format, while the men's tournament will feature a Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday format. And for ticket information and all other NJAC Winter Championship details, please visit njacsports.com. So again, that's the standings that we had. Let's just take a look real quick just to kind of guide you here to 9:30 as we approach the beginning of our events here. And we'll have the men's 500 freestyle trials and the women's 500 freestyle trials to kick things off. Let's just go to the dual meet standings. Let's see what we got, because, again, we want to recap here for you so you have all the information that you need U.S. Merchant Marine Academy, they ended up, this is a regular season heading into this whole week, really, with the swimming and diving championship meet. U.S. Merchant Marine Academy, 10-0. Then you notice, though, they didn't play any NJAC teams in any meets. Salisbury went 1-1. TC&J on the men's side 4-0. Had a 6-3 year, but they ended up going 4-0. William Patterson, 9-4 year. Mary Washington, 6-2 years. Some teams also just played in more meets. They had more experience in a lot of these races, so that's always been something to kind of take a look at. But that's the standings in terms of the men's side, and Merchant Marine Academy showing out strong as the TC&J. But if you just take a look at the standings, you maybe not wouldn't think of TC&J to be the top team after day one. But again, still 3 days left, so plenty of ground to make up for both of these sides that we'll take a look at right here, and we'll just kind of guide you through the week as we'll follow along the standings. But this was happening beforehand, and then taking a look at the women's side of things. I mean, heavy favorites. Taking a look at it all. Kane at 8-1, played 2 NJAC teams, won against both of them. William Patterson was 10-4, 0-1 against the NJAC. The NJAC, the SEC of the D3, because things can change very quickly. TC&J 1-4. They're up there. Roger Williams 1-4. They're up there as well. Montclair State was 7-3. Salisbury, again, 6-2. They didn't swim as much as some of these other teams. William Patterson swum a lot throughout the year. They've got some ground to make up, but I'm sure that they'll kind of come out strong today. They've got a lot to show for. So Mary Washington, again, they're up there as well, 6-1-1. And it kind of shows you a bit of a preview as we get into it all. Now, as we go along, we'll give you the seed times. We'll follow that along with you as well. But when it comes to what we're announcing here, when it comes to how we're going to cover these first kind of few races here in the morning session, we won't have full play-by-play and commentary for you, but we'll let you know who's in what race is happening and everything, and all the the information that you need to know to take this in the best possible way. And we'll do our best to provide that for you. We'll also have the scoreboard up there, as you see it kind of on the top before. We will have that for you. That'll be split up, so it'll be a little bit different. It'll look a little bit different for the NJAC Championship, but we'll take a look at that as we go along. But that will do it for us here on the PDF Sports Network. We'll be back for you for the NJAC Championships. We will take a break. We'll step aside as everybody's kind of getting ready. We will have coverage on this stream on the main pool. Make sure to check out as you're on Boxcast. Make sure to tell everyone that needs to know about this for the NJAC Championships. And again, before we kind of head off for a second, we'll take a break. We just want to thank everyone at the NJAC and everybody involved with this meet for just giving us an opportunity to be here, and also just perfect hospitality. Could not ask for anything else, and especially for everyone at the NJAC. So thank you very much, and thank you very much for tuning in. But again, we'll guide you through the races. We'll make sure that we have a guide for you, but also, again, we have the other pool. If you're looking for what's going on in the other pool, we'll have that for you on the other stream. So make sure that you're kind of tapped into where you need to be. But again, thank you for tuning in. We'll step aside for just a little bit, and we will be right back. the men's 500-yard freestyle right here for you.
This person back. When we come back, just apologize for the you should be good. You might have to transfer your graphics over.
Just checking. Yeah, just want to apologize for the technical difficulties. Just kind of turned off, but we should be all good now. We fixed everything we need to fix. Once again, apologies for the technical difficulties. This is heat 2 out of 8 for the men's 500-yard freestyle. But again, we apologize for all the technical difficulties that occurred right there. But everything is back online, so we should be all good to roll with your scoreboard in top right, so you can follow along with what's going on here in heat number 2 of 8, the men's 500-yard freestyle here, the 2026 NJAC Championship.
Like, hey folks, just so you know, if ever our stream crashes or we get shut down for any amount of time, don't worry, we are aware of the situation. subject to the temperamental Wi-Fi. You may get knocked off from time to time.
Yeah.
We'll make sure we get you right back.
Yeah. I went out there.
Yeah, so I just took that offline. And then I'll deal with it. Once this is over, I'll deal with that. But I think this setup will be fine for us for now.
Yeah, I don't know what that was before, but
That thing shut off for some reason. It must have like rebooted or reset.
Yeah.
And rather than just mess with it, we have the backup.
yeah, okay.
That was stressful, huh? Still the first heat?
Second. I told him on there.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
To be heat 3 out of 8 in the men's 500-yard freestyle. Once again, the women's 500-yard freestyle will be on our other stream if you're looking for that. We once again apologize for all the technical difficulties. We are subject to everything else around here, but we are all good now. We have fixed our issues. So thank you for tuning in.
Jack up your volume more so that tries to reach like almost right below the white bar. Can you jack up all the way? Yeah. All right. Or maybe, you know what you can do maybe? This one's here, right? Where do we have it on before? Here. Let's jack mine up. Not really helping.
the heat number 4, the men's 500-yard freestyle trials right here. will be heat number 5 of the men's 500-yard freestyle trials. This will be heat number 5 out of 8 at the 2026 NJAC Championship. Heat 6 out of 8 of the men's 500-yard freestyle. Heat number 6 here in the NJAC Championships.
Have the heat sheets up here? Should you bring a heat sheet?
No, I have it on the
Mobile?
on the site sheet from your.
Okay, you got it? All right.
That's downstairs. But I noticed it as well because we follow it too up here. But you know what? I just saw the commissioner. Next time I see him, I'll let him know. Because they had told us you could follow on the mobile, but we can't follow it either.
And the file says copy.
I know. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. No problem. I'll
Just a second, you'll have Heat 7 of the men's 500-yard freestyle. Heat number 7. That will bring up, that concludes our men's 500-yard freestyle trials, and that'll bring up the men's 200 individual medley trials coming up right here. Make sure to keep it tuned in. Coming up will be heat number 2 of the men's 200 individual medley. That'll be heat number 2 coming up right here in just a couple of moments here.
Here are the final qualifiers for the 109 500-yard freestyle. Second alternate, Connor Porsche. First alternate, Brendan Hazer. Consolation round, Mason Woods. Aaron Shin, Thomas Sites, Drew Westwater, Matthew Rushwood, Sean Hall, Aaron Alberto, Evan Hazard. Kyle Stay, Jimmy Ryan Christie, Matt Medley, Kevin Bowen, Robert Rice,
And that'll bring up heat number 3 for the men's 200 individual medley here in the 2026 NJAC Championship. This will be heat number 3. Women are doing their final heat of the 500 free on the other pool. If you're looking for that, make sure to check it out. This is heat number 3 of the 200 individual medley.
For event 9, men's 500-yard freestyle. Event 9, men's 500-yard freestyle. Main scratches leading forward by 10:37 at the announcer's table.
This will be heat number 4 of the men's 200 individual medley. Heat number 4 of the 2026 NJAC Championships. Heat number 5 of the men's 200 individual medley. Heat number 5 coming up right here in just a second.
Men 12, women's 200 individual medley. Heat 196.
Heat number 6 coming up here in the men's 200 individual medley. Heat number 6 here in the 200 individual medley.
Heat 2. Second alternate, Alexis
So we heat 1 out of 7 in the men's 50-yard freestyle. So there'll be 7 heats in the 50 free. We'll have that for you right here. This is heat number 1. Heat number 2 in the men's 50-yard free. That'll bring up heat number 3, the men's 50-yard free, 2026 NJAC Championships. Heat number 3. That'll bring up heat number 4 for the men's 50-yard free. Heat number 4. That brings up heat number 5 for the men's 50-yard free. Heat number 5 out of 7 coming up right here. Be heat number 6 for the men's 50-yard free. Heat number 7. Final heat of the men's 50 free. Final heat, heat number 7. So that concludes the men's 50 free. TCNJ gets a sub 20. That will lead us to a break. In terms of this pool, we still have the women's 200 individual medley going on the other one. Then they will also have the 50 free as well for the women. So if you want to check that out, make sure to tune into the other stream for the day here in the morning. We're about to begin the next heat of their 200, so make sure to get over there. But we will have a break in this pool, and we'll have the B relays coming up in this pool just after. It's about a 20-minute break, so we will just keep it right here. But, again, the other races are going on in the other pool on the other stream. But again, the 400 medley relays and the men's and women's 400 medley relays will happen in this pool, about a 20-minute break.
freestyle, heat 1 of 7.
7 total heats in women's freestyle. This is heat 1 of 7.
Women's heat 2.
Coming up next, the women's 50 freestyle heat 3 of 7. Heat 3 of 7 in women's
Women's heat 3.
Coming up now in the women's 50 free heat 4 of 7.
Women's heat 4. Women's heat 5. Women's Heat 6. Women's Heat 7. Here are the final qualifiers for event 12, women's 200-yard individual medley. Second alternate, Mattia McIntyre. First alternate, Leah Wolf. Consolation, Audrey Sabaka. Catherine Kennedy, Victoria Jowlin, Grace Geyer, Olive Grace Zettler, Samantha Watson, Katie Sheehan, Larry Benview, Jonestown, Sierra Whitfield, Catherine Geyer, Lillian Kubal, Colleen Gordon, Letitia Raisin, Maddie Cohen, Sydney Stanley, Lily Bagley. Finals round. Riley Cornell, Marianne Casanari, Trisha Lau, Lily Miyashita, Emma Wells, Mackenzie Gura, Olivia Chow, Ella Pennington.
Still on a break here, but the women have just concluded their swimming portion in the diving pool. They'll take a break and they will have their dives in that pool in just a bit after a quick break. For them, they've got a break as well. We have the 400 medley relays coming up in just a bit here on our stream over here. But if you're looking for women's diving, it'll be on the other stream because that is in the diving pool over there. The preliminaries for the women were in that pool as well. Or the trials were in that pool as well. But we have the relays coming up here in this pool. But if you're looking for diving, make sure to check in to the other stream on that side because you got two channels. Make sure to go to the other one if you're looking for diving. However, coming up after they conclude their break here, we're still in a break. And we'll fix our graphics as need be. But we're still in a break, so not exactly sure how long it's going to be, but we have the 400 medleys coming up in a little while coming up in this pool right here. So make sure to keep it tuned.
Consolation round. Adrian Gonzalez, Eli Polovich, Bobby Priest, Joseph Sweet, Brendan Harvey, Aiden Laurel, James Norman, Josh Oliveira. Bonus round. Christian Warner, Mason Hudson, Kilo Riverhost, JT Blackstone, Keen Hernandez, Peter Jarvod, Brady Frank, Ellen Brewer. Finals round. Reese Store, Mason Potts, Michael Simone, Sam Roundtree, Max Marenko, James Augustin, Drew McChesney, MJ Hogan. Any scratches will be declared by
Let's say bring the boards down. Maybe I'll work.
11:22 at the Ministry Stadium. The ring number 9, men's 500-yard freestyle is now closed with no scratches. Here are the final qualifiers for event 14, women's 50-yard freestyle. Second alternate, Mary Kate Owens. First alternate, Emma Zakatune. Consolation round, Natalie Whitman, Ashley Coons, Marla Mora, Madeline Rogers, Jessica Gus, Claire Jablonski, Maddie Bushnell, and Megan Allen. Honors round, Bridget Cleveland, Maddie Timmons, Tessa Damone, Caitlin McGuire, Adeline Higgins, Sarah Green, Isabel Lunsford, Avery Bernardini. Finals round, Izzy Salvatore, Zoe Taylor, Rex Hilty, Billy Rickman, Kitty Murray Jacobs, Soleil Clifford, Peralta, and Bertrand Wilson. Any scratches will need to be declared by 11:23 at the announcer's table. The relays will start at 10:58.
If you didn't hear the announcement there, 10:58 will be the time for your relays coming up here in just a couple. So make sure to keep it tuned. 10:58, that'll be the time for our relays coming up here for the NJAC Championships, the B relays coming up. Any scratches need to be reported to the announcer's table.
Women's 500-yard freestyle is now closed with no scratches. Will start at 11:15. Competition will start at approximately 12:15. Event 6, men's 400-yard medley relay, heat 1.
This will be heat number 1 as we begin our men's 400 medley relay, the B relays. So this will be heat number 1, men's 400 medley relay.
Last call for time trials at the announcer's table. At this competition in mid 1.6.
That does it. The men's 400 medley relay for that one. This will bring up the women's 400 medley relay. This heat number 1 of this women's 400 medley relay at the 2026 NJAC Championship. That'll conclude that heat for the women's 400 medley. Really just want to remind you, too, the women's 1 meter diving preliminaries will be occurring on our other side, on the other stream. They're on your other channel here. And again, if you have any issues and anything, thank you all for the chat as well for helping out with a couple issues we had audio-wise, so thank you for that. But again, we have the women's 1 meter diving going on our diving pool side of the stream, so make sure to check out that other channel if you wish to watch that, if you're taking a look at that. And thank you all for tuning in. I believe that will conclude. Once we have another heat, but again, if you're looking for diving, that's coming up in not too long on the other side. That does conclude our events in this pool for the morning. Not for the day, though. That's just the morning. So thank you so much for tuning in to our morning sessions here in the main pool. Once again, women's 1 meter diving preliminaries will be going on in the other pool, on the other stream, though. So we're not done here in the morning, but for this pool, we are, as everyone's getting their final counts and warm-ups in for this morning session. Once again, just to remind you, we will be back here. The events tonight begin at about 5:30. We'll be on the air about 5:10, so 5 o'clock. This stream will probably end up going on. National Anthem scheduled for 5:20, so make sure to tune in for that. Later tonight, again, 400 medley. You got both 400 medleys, women's 1 meter diving, walking into the finals, 500 freestyle as well, 200 individual medley, and the 50 freestyle. So those are preliminaries for that one. But again, just want to thank you all for tuning in. That will conclude this side of our stream for the morning. We have the diving going on the other portion of the stream in just a little bit. So make sure to check out women's 1 meter diving preliminaries. And again, those finals going on tonight. So once again, thank you all. Apologies for any technical difficulties we may have had throughout this one. We think we've ironed it all out. So we're all good now. But thank you all for tuning in. And we will see you just a bit later tonight.